impulse to find, to discover in life, or better to say in each life situation, concrete life situation confronting someone, the desire to find a meaning therein and to go on to fulfill it.
I was very intrigued. One of the most surprising things I've read recently was that you said that when you talked to European students, only 40% said they had suffered this sort of inner void, and yet 81% of American students experience the same thing.
This was
now,
decades ago.
We think of it just the opposite. We think of the Europeans as being buried under this existential dread and sense of purposelessness, and Americans as being optimistic and upbeat.
However it might be, whether the ones or the others are suffering more or less respectively from this existential vacuum. The ones who seem to suffer less should not look at the others with contempt, but look at the others with compassion and look for anything possible to help the others.
Now, this void manifests itself as
in apathy, in boredom, lack of initiative, lack of interest in the world, or initiative in changing something within the world for the better. This frustration is a proof of the existence of a will to meaning. Unless we were imbued by will to meaning, by the wish to find meaning and discover and fulfill meaning in life, we never would be able to experience an inner void. So this is in a way also something positive.
Now, you've listed 3 types of values: creative values, experiential values, and attitudinal values.
And you may find a meaning. The average man, the man on the street or the woman on the street, may find a meaning day by day in doing a deed, in creating a work. And
that's the creative.
And in experiencing something, the beauty, the truth as a researcher, or the good in dealing with people as a teacher or whatsoever.
There's an extraordinary moment in Man's Search for Meaning where you talk about being in one of the Nazi camps and all of you going out to look at a sunset. Is that
exactly? This is a paradigm of experiential values, of finding a meaning in experiencing without doing anything, without achieving or accomplishing anything, but just in giving oneself to the immediate experience of something, say, beautiful going on in the world. Okay. This is the second avenue. But there is also another aspect of experiential values. Excuse me, not only experiencing something, but also experiencing someone. More than that, experiencing another human being in his or her very uniqueness. And it is the main attribute of a human being that he is a person in contrast to any animal. He is a person, and a person is always something absolutely unique, irrepeatable in the evolution of the cosmos, as it were, incomparable with any other human being. And this uniqueness can be got hold of solely by a loving person, because he not only sees the essence, but also the potentials in the beloved person, thereby, as I put it before, promoting him, alleviating it to reach out to attain this potential and to fulfill and thereby actualize also himself, but not by preaching self-actualization. It's nonsense. Self-actualization can only fall into your lap automatically once that you have fulfilled a concrete meaning, done the best of a situation. Then you actualize yourself as a byproduct.
Let's talk about the third set of values, which is the attitudinal, the idea of choosing how to respond to suffering.
choosing the attitude.
Yes.
If there is no possibility in a given situation to fulfill the meaning of a situation by giving oneself to the experience of beauty and so forth, nor to, if you have lost the capability to do your job, to do your work, even then there is an ultimate possibility to find and fulfill meaning. Not only
Good morning.
it is even the potential to fulfill
Try that again. Good morning.
deepest meaning, to attain the highest values. By your approach to the given to the situation, a tragic or triste situation confronting you.
You said that in part of the initial shock of being put in a death camp was there.
Thought I was going to sneeze, but it went away. Good
acceptance
morning.
that we knew we had nothing to lose except our ridiculously naked lives. Is that the situation that they're in?
In a way,
Is this when you make the choice of how you're going to? Your last value choice is how to react to the situation?
You stood there naked, with nothing you could have had. But all the more what counted and mattered was what you were, being rather than having, possessing anything.
How are you? Looks like I've came on stream just in time for Bobby to make a cameo. Let's just go to his bed. That was exciting, wasn't it? Good morning, Techie Rob, Papa from Marge, Mark Riley, Rabbit Snap, Piper Dunn, Amicus Riley, Bojaws. Hello. Hello. I downloaded another Steam game to play on stream, but I think it might be a shiter. It's called Shadow Gambit. Has anybody even ever heard of that? Because I'd never heard it before. Bobby's about the same age as me. He's middle-aged. And cat ears. Just because he's got a wee head, you think he's young, but he's not. Good morning, future blorb. Good morning, Andy. Probably get copyrighted for using music, but fuck it. Fuck it. So how are yous? You start, you go first. How are yous? Edge gave Shadow Gamut an 8 out of 10. It doesn't look like an 8 out of 10. I've only looked at a trailer, but it doesn't look like an 8 out of 10, but I'm happy to be surprised. Amicus Riley's at work. You can't really win, because this morning I woke up, I don't know how common this is, but Papa Fromage is doing fab. Is that a drug or something that you're doing? A new street drug called fab? Morning, Big Ian. You roll up a 50p piece and snort it. What age is your daughter, Piper, done? Because I also wake up about like 4ish in the morning, but it's probably not for the same reasons as as a 1-year-old. Probably a 1-year-old isn't stressing about life. Or maybe she is. She probably just can't express herself properly. Quite fancy some caffeine, but our GP told me a couple of weeks ago to drink less caffeine, so I'm trying to drink less, but I want some. She's good at screaming. Well, maybe she is having some kind of crisis. I went to the GP. Amicus Riley's astonished that I saw a GP. It wasn't actually that hard to see a GP, but then I remembered what it's like when you see a GP. I've got this thing, one of the things, I went with a wee mini shopping list. It's too early in the morning, Papa Fromage, for me to think anything funny to say about GP. Nah, it's too early in the morning, I've not got anything. What's a GP? A guilty pleasure? That doesn't make any sense. I went with a wee mini shopping list of stuff because I've not been to the GP in years, and one of the things I went to talk to the GP about was I've got a thing on my foot, like an injury on my foot. The name of the thing annoys me because you'll have heard the thing before, but the name is it's a stupid sounding word. It's a bunion. I've got a bunion on my foot, which is that's like a comical thing that old people get into. Fucking a daffy onion bunion. But actually what it is actually pretty serious because it's one of your joints that stops working properly. And it causes a build-up of I don't know exactly what it is. It's kind of like a calcification type thing, but it pushes it stops your toes from growing straight and starts to push them in at an angle. But it's actually, when it flares up, it's actually really fucking painful, and it's on your foot, which is a bit of a nuisance. Because when you've got something seriously wrong with your foot, you start to realise, fuck, I use my feet all the time. I kind of use my feet to keep me upright. So when one of them isn't working properly, it's a wee bit of inconvenience. But the GP's advice, I'd forgotten what it was like going to the GP, and the GP's advice for the bunion was, we can give you painkillers if it's hurting, but we don't do anything other than that until it's so serious that it needs operated on, and then we'll maybe in like a year's time we'll give you an operation to fix it. So that's it. That was the GP's only advice for this. Take painkillers until it's really, really, really serious, and then we'll do an operation on it. But what I did instead was, I didn't, like, the pain isn't that, it flares up every now and again and it's really uncomfortable, but it's not really like taking painkillers kind of pain. But I bought these like toe spacer things off of the internet, and now I wear a toe spacer and that helps like loads. But that wasn't one of the things that, that the GP recommended. GP just recommended gubbing loads of painkillers. Good morning, Viva La Hazy. I've got an appointment with the podiatry department, Viva La Hazy, through the NHS, but it's no like an in-person meeting. They're going to phone me. They're going to phone me and ask me about it, and probably what they're going to do is they're going to phone me and ask me about it, and then they're going to go, actually, you know what, we're going to have to take a look at it anyway, so we'll make an appointment for you to come in. The same way that they did the way I also had this thing where I wanted to see the dermatology department because I've got some skin things, and I was like, what's that then? I should get that looked at. And these days the NHS ask you to take pictures of like any skin things and email it to their dermatology department. First of all, you're on a waiting list, right, for like a few weeks to get a window. A window opens up where you can submit like pictures for a few days, and then once you've submitted the pictures, another few weeks later after that, somebody looks at the pictures. And that's what happened to me. I waited a few weeks for the window to open. The window opened. I sent them pictures of the thing. Another few weeks passed. Somebody looked at the pictures, and then they emailed me back eventually, and they said, we can't really tell for the pictures. We're going to have to make you an appointment to come in. And then what they do is they don't phone you or ask you to phone them to make an appointment. They send you this is one here. I'm just checking if there's any. This is one here, but I'll not show you any details that are on it. They send you an appointment through the post. They print it onto a piece of fucking paper, put it into a fucking envelope, send it through the post, pay to send it through the post, and then you look at it and you go, I can't do that appointment. So then you email them back and you go, I can't do that appointment. And then they do the whole fucking process again. They pick an appointment, they print it off on a piece of paper, they put it in an envelope and they send it to you again. And it's happened twice now, but I've went, I can't do that appointment either. I'm on holiday when that appointment. So now we're on to the third attempt to try and get a dermatology appointment. It's like Gene Wilder and no Gene Wilder, fucking Richard Pryor. It's like Richard Pryor trying to get rid of all the millions of pounds. He's running the NHS and he's trying to run them underground as quickly as he can. Good morning, Good Wee Games. They're so wasteful. Was that a while ago, Space Jaws, you're talking about slip discs? And you were off for 9 months. Was that a while ago? Amicus Riley started getting arthritis. This is the start to the stream that I dreamed of. I actually had Rabbit Snap says that I'm wearing stilettos too much and that's why I got a bunion. I'm actually blaming a pair of these I've put them in the bin now. But for a few months I had a pair of these Adidas shoes, and they were kind of like just a rubber sole with fabric on them, so they look kind of quite soft and harmless. But there's something about the cut of them that has been pushing my feet in a lot more than previous shoes, so I'm blaming them for it happening actually. Techie Rob, what Steam game is it that you're talking about? I don't want you to gift me it and then me insult you by going, I'm even going to look at that.
Hi, my name is Mo.
Shush. Shadow Gambit is released in 2 days' time. Big Ian. 2 days. I saw, what did I see? I think it might have been an IGN video that I watched the other day. Papa Fromage is talking about a weird internet uproar about Baldur's Gate 3, with developers claiming we shouldn't expect other games to be as good as Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3. Good morning, Pops. You could get a go, Techie Rob. I mean, I could get a go. Good Wee Games doesn't expect anything to be good. You're in the right place, Good Wee Games. You're watching the right content. I think I was about to say, before I got sidetracked there, I think we were talking about waking up at 4 in the morning and how that's been happening for me again recently. I woke up about 3:30, 4 this morning, absolutely fucking drenched in sweat. I just pottered about and ended up sleeping on the living room floor, well, trying to sleep on the living room floor. But you can't really win because you this morning I actually managed to forget that I was streaming. So I got up with that kinda, I don't know if you're familiar with this feeling where I heard the UFC fighter Michael Bisping saying something similar. He was talking about on his days off, he doesn't know what to do with himself. Like he almost starts to unravel because he's lost his purpose just because he's got a day off and he doesn't know what to do with himself. That kind of thing, that kind of existential, what am I for then? If I've not got anything to do, what am I for? And I woke up this morning feeling a bit like that, and then remembered that I've got a stream today, and I went, oh, for fuck's sake. So you can't really win. I was panicking because I didn't have anything to do, and then I was disappointed when I realised that I did have something to do. That points towards a demotivated person, I think. What is that number you've sent me, Techie Rob? What did I do with that number? Friends? Add a friend. Search for friend. Ah, there it is. Invite sent. Take a rope. Good morning, LH. Big Ian says, when I have nothing to do, you better believe I do it. It used to be a fucking delight to, sorry for swearing. It used to be a fucking delight. Doing nothing. Let me know, Viva La Hazy, when you're like 100,000 points away for 100,000 points away for me having to put a wig on because I need to go to the shop and buy a wig. Techie Rob has gifted me Tolio Deluxe Edition. Tolio. It's tiny. I didn't sell them, Viva. They just, I think they all get popped into a charity shop. Should we stop? Viva La Hazy's got a work call. We'll just stop talking, Viva, until you're back. Nobody type anything or don't breathe. Can you do a conference call, Viva La Hazy, and we could all join in? I can tell whoever it is that's on the other end of the call about the toilet seat that I bought yesterday. I'm living in this flat, this tiny one-bedroom flat in the south side of Glasgow, and it needs loads of work, the flat. It needs like DIY work and decorating work and stuff, but I'm noticing two differences when I'm trying to get these kids, because I've, like, the last probably, so many cat hairs flying about in this fucking room. Over the last like 10 years, I've done so much. It feels as if I've done so much decorating and DIY and improving the place that I'm living in that it isn't. It's no anything new to me to be doing that kind of thing. But I think the difference with this flat is that when I'm doing bits of DIY or decorating, it's no having the same payoff when the things are done, for two reasons, I think. The first being that the flat doesn't really need a lick of paint or a wee bits of DIY. I think what the flat needs is ripped out, like gutted, and starting again, like getting it stripped all the way back to the walls and replastered and all the fittings and everything redone is what it actually needs. So doing bits of DIY on it has a bit of an unsatisfactory payoff, and also I'm not really that sold on staying in the south side of Glasgow, so then work on the flat doesn't have much of a reward for that reason. That's every tenement flat. That's not true, Amicus Riley, because a lot See, a lot of the flats around here, around this area, getting sold, and they're all in fucking tip-top, pristine condition. That's just the ones getting sold, obviously. That's probably why they're getting sold. They've probably been done up to get flipped, haven't they? We live next door to this woman. There's this woman next door who's like maybe about 60, close to 60. Just lives by herself, the woman. And she's very slight, very, very slim woman. And she was telling me the other day that she's not got any central heating. She lived there for like nearly 30 years. She's not got any central heating. Ground floor tenement flat, no central heating. I don't know how the fuck she's doing that. Mark Riley asked if I still have my place in the Barton. I do, Mark Riley, aye. I do. There's a young couple in my flat, living in my flat. A young couple with a young daughter living in my flat. LH is asking if I found anywhere to go running. I've walked a couple of times to the park that I would like to run in, but I've not gone running anywhere. I noticed, I mean, I'm not in the right psychological place anyway, so I can recognise that in my words, but I've noticed that psychologically I'm now thinking about running and exercising in a completely different way that I used to. I remember being in Dumbarton, in my Dumbarton flat, and whenever I went out running, it would just be, I would go over there to run. That's what it would be. I would be thinking running is just over there, so I just need to go over there and then I can run. But now in the south side of Glasgow, when I think about running, I think I need to go up there. I need to go up, away, somewhere out of the way to do the running. It's not just, it's over there, it's up and out of the way and over there. It's further away, is what I'm saying. I don't feel good about it. Good Wee Games asks how I feel being a landlord. I definitely don't feel good about it. The first like letting agent guy that I met was, I think I told you this at the time, I think I said this on stream. It was like a Audi driver, obviously drove an Audi, like this bright blue Rangers. Blue, brand new Audi, fancy Audi car. The guy drove. Obviously went to the gym a lot. A guy about 50, maybe late 40s, 50, went to the gym a lot. Either a spray tan or lots of sunbeds. And one of these, I've got a Casio on, but he had like one of these fucking watches that was like that size. Like a fucking, like a late 1980s hip hop sized fucking watch that looked like something that like an 8-year-old boy would pick out of a shop, but probably it cost a fortune. And he was like old school landlord, and that gave me big pause for thought. I was like, I'm not actually sure if I'm even going to go ahead with this after meeting that guy. Then I met somebody else, and he was much better. So I went ahead with it. That's a true story. But I mean, I have only got one. This is me just trying to justify my evil behaviour. I've only got one kind of tiny wee flat in Dumbarton that I'm renting it. When I'm talking to these letting agent guys, like, they've got people in their books that have like portfolios of property. I don't think me having a wee tiny flat in Dumbarton that I used to live in and renting that out for a short period of time until I decide what else I want to do next in life, I don't think that's the same as like owning 20, 30 properties and making your living out of doing it. I don't think that's the same thing. £740 million. Remember that? £740 million. That's the annual income of Rishi Sunak. £740 million. Still no get more paint, Amicus Rail. It's been ordered into the shop, but we've not picked it up yet. I'm really curious to know what other people who aren't like me, what their reaction is to hearing that Rishi Sunak makes £740 million in a calendar year. Because there must be even in this country, there must be tens of millions of people who go, right, that's fair enough, aye. Fair enough. Good on him. Techie Rob tells a harrowing story of his friend having to evict a single mother and a young baby. Nothing's went wrong so far. I mean, nothing's really happened with me renting my flat out, to be honest. Nothing at all has happened. They've just moved in and everything seems to be... Oh no, they had to put up some... There's a bit of the flare in one of the bedrooms that has an old... fireplace, an old hearth under it, so they were saying that the furniture was wonky. I knew about that anyway, so they'd asked if they could put in some what they called, you know, the thing that secures cabinets to the wall. They asked if they could put them in, and I was like, do what you want, do what you fucking want. But that's the only thing that's happened. But it'll not take much for me to go, I'm getting rid of that flat, I don't think. My thinking is, because you really don't need this kind of level of information, but I took out quite a long mortgage deal. No, because I'm a financial genius or anything, and I saw like big financial problems coming for the country. I just went, I'm going to take the longest deal so that it means that I don't have to think about my mortgage again for years and years. So I took out like a 5-year mortgage deal and ended up with like a really low good rate, and I think I've got that for another 3 years. So I'm like, oh, might as well just stick with that for the next 3 years and then see how astronomical my mortgage gets and decide whether I want to keep the place or not. Where would you like to live? I'm not sure specifically where, but somewhere in the north of Scotland. Amicus Rail is where I would like to live. Every time I go driving in the north of Scotland, I'll see probably about a dozen different cottages or houses or places that I would live here. I'll have a look at Wick. Let's have a look at Wick. Not Wicks. Not Wicks. Wick. I mean, it's a wee bit out of the way. It's a wee bit out of the way. Is there only one picture? There's only one picture. Oh no, there's no. Aye, it's no what it looks like. It looks a wee bit like a really underdeveloped Edinburgh. Who's that guy? Nah, it's no leafy enough for me. I would like to live close to quite a lot of forest and stuff. If that's alright, if you could sort that out for me, cheers, thanks. Amicus Riley got an amazing mortgage deal when the banks went tits up 15 years ago. Makes him feel like a supervillain. Look, it's a dirty game, Amicus Riley. Eddie Guerrero was spot on when he said cheat to win. That's the world we live in. Cheat to win. 740 million pounds a year. I keep getting emails for NatWest, as my mortgage provider, saying that they're there to help me, so I think an awful lot of people are really fucking struggling. I know people who, my next door neighbour said that their electricity bills just trebled. Out of the blue. I know folk whose mortgages are renewing and they literally just can't afford them. So I've been getting emails from NatWest saying that they're there to help, but their help seems to be, for what I read, I only read the stuff they're sending, but their help seems to be things like they'll let you move on to an interest-only repayment scheme, which means that you're no paying off your mortgage, you're just paying off the interest. But we shouldn't lose sight. I don't know how often it's mentioned on the news when they're talking about these types of things, like cost of living crises and mortgage, people not being able to pay their their mortgages. We should never lose sight at why these things are happening, and the reason why the mortgage rates are going up and the reason why like the cost of food and everything's going up is because rich people want to continue getting richer. That's what you're paying for. That's what the system is. Whereabouts are you thinking about buying a flat, Parps? Papa from Ash says Golspie. I've never heard of that. It's East Coast though. I mean, ideally I would kind of like to live on the West Coast. No offence. No offence. Amicus Riley asked, do you think being somewhere so quiet would be good? Think of all the thinking time you'll end up with. I've got all the thinking time wherever I go anyway, because wherever I seem to go, my brain comes with me. So it doesn't really seem to matter where I move to. At least if you go somewhere quiet, it's just you and your brain, and there's no mountains of other people with all their fucking problems. No offence to yous. I didn't mean specifically your problems, I just meant people in general and all their fucking problems. I've been to Tain, Papa Fromage. It's famously one of the places that I moan about the most. I think it's just because it took so long to get there. Like, I drove for fucking hours and hours to get to Tain, and wasn't that impressed. Hex Adventure says there's enough money in the system, it's all just in the wrong places. There is. They proved that during the pandemic, when they somehow were able to just give money to people. Whenever there's a fucking war, let's get right into it. Let's get Ben Elton about this. Whenever there's a fucking war, they can find £1 trillion easy enough if there's a fucking war to fight. £740 million, and there's people living and dying on the fucking street. Papa Fromage already mentioned that. That's true, there is no midges on the west side, Papa Fromage. But on the east side rather. But on the west side it's so beautiful. Viva Hazer says the west of Scotland is pish because the roads are mental. Good. Good, that's what I want. I want to live somewhere where the roads are mental, so if anybody ever thinks about coming to visit me, I'll not that anybody ever would think to visit me, but if they did, they'd go, it's a hassle, isn't it? Good morning, Whiskey. Actually, I think I blame Amicus Riley is asking if it's all the English people in Shawmons that am I racist against English people. Usually, if I'm walking around Queen's Park or around the area and I hear young English hipsters, which happens quite often in this area, I kind of feel, there's something kind of charming about them. So it's no them. I mean, it's their fault that their shop's selling fucking cups of coffee that size for a £5. They're to blame for that. But it's no specifically any type of group of people. I just don't want to be around so many people. No offence to yous. Did you hear, Amicus Riley, you're for the south side, didn't you? Did you hear about, thanks for the follow, Fluffy Pink Blonde, thanks for the follow. Did you hear about Oscars? You know, the restaurant on the corner of Skirvin Street? The top of Skirvin Street? The restaurant, did you hear about it? It's not called Oscars anymore, I forget what it was. It's now an Italian restaurant, and it's been an Italian restaurant for like a month. Has he answered me? Have you answered me? He's not answered me. I need to do the what are they called? The chat prompts. I need to do the chat prompts again. I need to redo them because I think they're all broken. None of the chat shortcuts or whatever they're called work. Might be because I changed the name of the channel. Where you gone, Viva? How far are you gonna run? Fucking champ. He's a hero. Basically a hero. 5k. Lucky bastard. Lucky bastard. Alright, have a good one, mate. I'll be back on tomorrow at the same time. Amicus Riley's away, so he's obviously not aware of the news. I'm talking about this restaurant that's in the south side of Glasgow. Apparently, what happened 2 nights ago was that the people who are running the restaurant in this unit just now, there was some kind of dispute between them and the landlord, the person that owns the unit. And a couple of nights ago, the landlord and some heavies turned up while the restaurant was open and there was customers in the restaurant. And him and the heavies changed the locks on the restaurant doors while the place is open and there's customers in. So that's quite exciting. So the people that were running the Italian restaurant were on Facebook saying that this guy's like a con man, like a shyster and a con man, the owner of the restaurant. But I'm not gonna just take their word for it because the guy might be brand new. I think landlord's got a bad rep, as far as I can tell. Does Ireland not have any midges? Good Wee Game says Ireland doesn't have any midges. You sure? Space Josh says I live in the northeast, and he's a racist against the English because so many of them are flat out racist, down there. I'm not wanting to offend anybody, but every time I go to England, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. The level of The level of like closed in fear in England and xenophobia definitely is way higher than it is in Scotland. I mean, I'm sure you could go into certain council estates in Scotland and encounter a lot of the same problems, but there's no denying that England is a less nice place to be than Scotland. Because I used to go down to... I think I've talked about this before on the stream, but I used to go down to... To be fair to England, they are the best, they are. That's true. Sir Geoff Hurst, whoever he is, Bobby Moore, whoever he is, Christopher Columbus, of course, famous Englishman who discovered Australia or something, I don't know. What was I talking about there? Aye, I used to go down to Kent, which is pretty much not as far south, but it's definitely southern England. I used to go down to Kent to this wee cottage that was a friend of a friend has a wee cottage down there, and I definitely registered. I've been done like 4 times, I think 3 or 4 times, and every time I go down, it strikes me that the English people who are there in this, it's a gathering of like friends who all meet up at this cottage, and every time I go, I register that they see this place completely different from how I see it, because they see it as like escaping the big city, which is what they're doing, escaping the big city to go to like a really idyllic countryside retreat. But that's not the way I see the place, because I don't know if you've ever been to Kent before, but like everything is so boundaried. It's not like Scotland where you can just go, I wonder what's out there, I'm going to have a walk out there. It's like everything is like fucking stay out signs and private property signs and fences and barbed wire and I get off my land. And that's the attitude of the place. So while like other English folk are coming out of the city, but they're probably living off fucking shoebox flats, I'm coming all the way down for Scotland, and I'm going like, it's insane down here. It's greedy insanity. And they're all like, and all the properties around about this place that I visit are all like, they're all multi-millionaires. Multi-millionaires. You couldn't live there unless you were like massively wealthy. But it's not enough for them. It's never enough. But that's why the planet's dying, because humans are greedy and selfish and living in their own deluded heads. Let's play a game. Irish midges are allergic to iron brew, says Techie Rob. I'm learning a lot this morning. Funnily enough, Cornwall's a nicer... I've been to Cornwall and it's a lot nicer, but I think it's a lot nicer because everything's a lot more spread out. So you can stay away from people. I am not an England fan. And I'm not saying that just because I've got a Scottish accent. Also, whenever you go to fucking England, nobody even blinks about putting on a Scottish accent when they're in your company, which is one of the most fucking annoying things I've ever experienced in my life. Being in a group of English people all trying out their Scottish accents on you, and me having to, haha, great fun, like just fucking grin and bear it. Fucking cunts. Good morning, PK1. Morning, Kenty. Do. Oh. This game's windowed. I'm assuming I can unwindow it. Disco. Music's pretty good. I don't think you missed any fun, Mark Riley. I was just moaning. I think that's what the last stream, if anybody didn't see the last stream that I did, don't ever watch it. It was fucking terrible. But I think that's what that last stream was missing. That I wasn't whinging enough. You've got to play to your strengths, I think, and I'm a world-class whinger. I've been having trouble getting a dentist appointment. I've got this one filling, talking of whinging. I've got this one filling up the back because my teeth are at the back. My teeth are terrible because I've been eating too much sugar for too many decades. But there's one that just keeps falling out. There's hardly anything left of the tooth, so the filling just keeps falling out. So it's a problem. I've been having trouble getting a dentist appointment. So I've now resorted to buying like dentistry. It's not going to let me show you. Dentistry products off Amazon. That's a really aggressive AI that only likes my face. Have you ever tried your own dentistry? It was Bob Mortimer on Would I Lie to You gave me the idea because he said that he does some of his own dentistry. That screen's a wee bit. Oh dear. Oh dear. Huh? Oh shit, I restarted by mistake. Oh, unfulfilled. Ah! This game is Tolio, Kenty, which sounds a bit like polio. Oh, why? I did it first time and now I can't do it. That's curious. Curious. Oh no! I didn't know I did that. That's weird. That was a bit silly. I think you're thinking of a Tolly, Amicus Riley, not a Tolio. What do you mean, Techie Rob? This is a meeting. You've got a meeting now. You're in a meeting right now. You can't leave a meeting to go on another meeting. Side plus what? Slide plus jump. Drop, then double jump. Oh, friggin' fudge. How did I do this last time? Ah. Oh, nearly. Morning, midi. Where did you go on holiday, midi? Oh, that's a heartbreaker. I don't see anything on the other side. I don't see anything. Oh, Jesus Christ. Uh-oh. Oh my god! I'm gonna do that. Oh fuck! Oh, I did it wrong. Nearly, nearly. Oh. Man, that's tricky. No. I'm not moving to Wick, Midi. I don't think. I don't like the look at it. I considered it for a good 10 seconds, but I had a look at it on Google Maps and I've decided against it. I think one of the unfortunate byproducts of no looking at the news very often and no looking at social media very often is that when you do look at it, you go, "Oh my god, we are so fucked. We're so fucked." I'm not talking about yous, obviously, when I'm saying look at social media, but do you know, look at social media sometimes and go, "We're fucked." Look at the way people are portraying themselves. Look at the way people are acting. We're fucked. it'll chase away your viewers. Amicus Riley, I'm on double the viewers that was on the last time I streamed when I wasn't moaning, so... It's not limited to social media, no, definitely no good wee games. I'm just saying that it gets accentuated when I see social media and I see the way that people are acting on social media. It'd be fucking amazing if it was if it turns out that it was somebody's plan. See if they invented social media with the sole purpose fucking people's lives and brains, turning them into just a dirty bunch of cliquey. Let's play the game. No! No. Yay! Nearly. Once I find the mark, that'll be easy. Oh. There. I don't know. Try to figure it out in my head. Hey! Fucking Christ. Hey! That's fucking harsh. It's weird how you in games you get that, don't you? You get a bit, you're like, I can't do it, and then once you've done it once, that's it. You remember how to do it. Space Joe says his brother sends him links of TikToks of people making videos with their cats, but some of them are cruel and he doesn't like watching them. I was saying there that I wonder if it'd be amazing if it turned out that social media was actually like somebody's plan to fuck humanity. It's no, but I think TikTok more than any of the other ones seem like they were intentional. It almost seems like the Chinese government went, I wonder if we can we make Westerners just kind of like start glitching a bit, like make their wains, we'll try and corrupt their wains and just try and get their wains to start kind of like, I think we can do that, and they can, and it was dead easy. If I can figure it out, maybe I can raid you. If, that's a big if. I'm going to go to 30 deaths. If I can't get past this bit at 30 deaths, then I can just drop down for here, can't I? Yes. Oh no! Oh no, I fucked up. I fucked up. Oh, I'm stuck on that bit again now. Well, that's 30 deaths. What was that game that somebody mentioned there? I don't know, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure. I'm having a look at it, and that's literally just watching a video for it, but I'm a wee bit concerned that the gameplay won't be dynamic enough. I haven't tried Graveyard Keeper, Medina. I thought when I looked at Graveyard Keeper, I just thought I know exactly what it is. I feel like I've played it before. It doesn't look as good as like Cult of the Lamb, is what I thought. I've seen it. I have seen it, and I've looked at it, but I just decided against it because I wasn't fully sold. Almost looks a wee bit Spiritfarer, doesn't it? The art style on this. I did play Blasphemous, aye, Amicus Riley. I know the second one's out this month. I have been looking at what's out this month, but it's a bit it's slim pickings. If you're no playing Baldur's Gate 3, that is. But I don't think I'll play Baldur's Gate 3 because I think it's unfair on all the games companies that don't try as hard to get their game finished before they bring it out. So I'm just going to ignore Baldur's Gate 3 and I'm just going to play all the broken shitters that the games industry brings out instead. I think that's fair. I never actually played. Bag of Knives is talking about the Mad Max game. I never actually played it, but I always thought it looked technically quite impressive. I think Spiritfarer ended up doing quite well when it went out to Xbox and stuff, I think. I did try to get a press copy of Baldur's Gate 3, but I didn't hear anything back, which isn't unusual. 'Cause we're not fucking popular enough. See if all yous would do that. Mind that thing they used to do in like shows like the Two Ronnies? There'd be like a prison scene, or like a, what's it called? Like a prisoner of war camp. And there'd be one human guy, but he would have like a long bar along his shoulders, and he would have made like 10 scarecrows. If you could do that, it would make Consolvania look a lot more popular. We might get some more press copies of games. I wouldn't say I hit a lot of Steam keys, Kenny. I'd say the success rate of the last couple of years of requesting codes has been about 10 to 15%. So most of the time we don't get fuck all. Or I don't get fuck all. I don't think Robert asks for codes. I don't think, anyway. You can't see that text that says Mommy howls Mommy. The bird's crucified cousin Poochie with his own guts. Yaldi. Oof. Oh dear. What the? That was a swear word. I didn't know there was going to be swear words. Celebrate Cousin Poochie's death with some backflips. It's what Cousin Poochie would have wanted. What now? Is that Cousin Poochie? Just found Poochie. crucified with his own guts. None of the buttons down. Nah. Back to my bike just. Oh! Fucking, how do you stop? Not really into this. Not really into that. We've got Bag of Knives is asking if we've got any holidays coming up. We have. I'm going to Barcelona. 2nd, I think, only for a few days. I've been twice before, but I haven't been in like 20 years. It's a long, long time since I've been, but I have been a couple of times. Well, everybody says when you say you're going to Barcelona is you'll have an amazing time. Watch out for pickpockets. That's what everybody says. It definitely will be busy. We're staying right in the centre of town as well. We got a suspiciously good deal on our accommodation that's right in the middle of town, so we'll see how it goes. I also have a changeover in London when I'm going down. I need to get because I've cheaped out on the flights, or the flight out at least. I need to leave I think I need to leave the house at 2 o'clock on Saturday morning, and Sunday morning, sorry, to get to Edinburgh Airport for a 5:45 flight. But I've got a changeover in London for an hour and a half, so I need to change flights in London, and I'm hoping that goes alright. I'm a wee bit worried about it because I don't know how difficult it is these days to change flights, especially in a London airport. But I've got an hour and a half anyway. So I'm flying from Edinburgh to London, changing in London, London to Barcelona. It's direct coming back the way, so that's a good thing. And it's at a better time. Which airport? That's a good question, I can't mind. I'm going to play it safe and check my phone rather than look at my emails on stream. I've still not told you about the toilet seat that I bought. Surprised you didn't remind me. Stansted. So I get into London Stansted at 5 to 7 on the Sunday morning. And I've got no, that can't be right. That can't be right, surely. It's saying that the next flight is at 8:25, but it takes 3 hours to get to Barcelona. It can't take 3 hours to fly to Barcelona for London, can it? Can it? Well, maybe it is then. Maybe it is 3 hours for London. You did miss the bunions part or bag of knives. I've got a bunion on my foot and it's really painful sometimes, but I've started to use a spacer in between my toes and that helps quite a lot actually. Like silicone spacers. Including the time change, maybe, aye, maybe. I've completely forgotten the name of that other. There it is though. Only 4 days in Barcelona, but I'm quite looking forward to it. I'll be there by myself for quite a while, I think, because my girlfriend's, she's in Sweden for a week before that, so she's coming for Sweden, but she doesn't get into Barcelona until later that day, so I'm just going to be bumming about. Hopefully I can check in by myself, but start the purification.
The ritual has begun.
I should have just about enough time to check into my hotel and get mugged for all my money.
Who's there? Me. Huh? Are you ready? Almost. We're all in. Good. Let's figure this out. First, we take care of the stragglers. Mr. Mercury, you distract that acolyte with your fish, so Gale can snatch him from behind. When that one wanders out of sight, I'll take him down. The last one, I leave to you, Mr. Mercury. Aye, aye.
Now those three can wield Maiden's Fire, so we have to take them down together. Then we grab what we came for and hightail it back to the ship. Let's do it.
Wait.
What?
What about the High Priest?
Oh, just give him a hug.
Okay, love that plan.
Abominations! I call upon the Maiden's Fire!
The power of the cursed belongs to the cursed.
This looks a wee bit like a mobile game. Do hotels no usually take your passport? Everybody keeps asking me to play Fortnite midday. I don't know what's happening. It's like we slipped back 5 years.
So this is Angler's Grave. Charming little rat hole. Let's find the bar and make a deal before the Inquisition shows up.
Meet the Jester. Here's what? Ah.
Look what the brine swept in.
Glad they don't mind the cursed.
Somebody pointing a gun? Oh no, it's a spyglass.
The smell of grog and salty planks.
Best not linger here too long, pirate.
Fuck off, son.
Inquisition sails on the horizon.
Ah, another curse.
He's on the balcony, top floor.
You are not an easy man to find, Jester.
It was
Natural man.
really easy to find. It was really easy to find.
Interesting people. Now, what can I do for you, Signora Manicato?
They say you can arrange things. There's a certain ghost ship I'd like to catch up with.
Ah, the Red Marley has
Yes, I know all about your history with that ship.
Then you also know why I'd want to be on it.
Signora, the prospect of seeing your fates collide is the entire reason for our meeting. I can get you to the Marley, but I must inform you that she has seen better days. Currently, she's
Good morning, Macy
of a
Justice.
certain Inquisitor.
Do you know, Macy Justice, that I looked for you on Twitter the other day? I'm not paying attention to anything to this game soon.
Still determined, I see.
I looked you up on Twitter the other day, Macy Justice, but searching for the name Macy Justice and some American lassie's using your name.
One more question.
I'd lawyer up if I were you.
Oh, don't worry, Signora. I simply wish to be entertained. Now, shall we begin?
You just missed me talking about what social media is doing to humanity. You'll be kicking yourself that you missed that.
The rite is complete.
There's something about this, maybe it's my current mood, but there's also something about this game where it's just kind of it's washing past me. I'm no engaging in it. Something about the art style and the voices and the crap fonts is just making it just kind of...
What?
Abomination!
Abomination! Could you not let me kill him today to give me something to do?
Apologies, but as you well know, death's not the end here. So, one down, possibly 100 or more to go.
Camera movements was a bit crap as well.
Before Ignatia sets her on fire.
Can I swim? Nope.
Huh. According to the stars, this island isn't too far from Angler's grave.
Huh? Got a run button? No. No run button.
Another acolyte. Best take him down quietly. See you. Heavy. Out of sight, out of mind. Consider it done.
But I did that. I had it in the sea.
And another. Always a pleasure running into the Inquisition. Let's get you somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be sticking this.
Maiden's fire lamp. Constant.
Maybe I shouldn't do tutorials on stream. Are yous all working for Fortnite now? What's going on? Do you get, how do you download Fortnite even? You don't get it on Steam? Is it cross-platform? Fortnite. What the fuck's going on? There's a transformer. Something's gone a wee bit wrong with this, but it's saying that I'm failed to challenge capture. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Verify your information. What? Well, verify it well. There's nothing here. Place order. Agree. Oh, it worked. I don't think I have the launcher on the new PC, so I'm going to have to do that as well, unfortunately. Sorry. I'm not going to have time to play it, but I will be back on tomorrow at 10 o'clock. So maybe I could play some... Could any of you play Fortnite with me, though? At 10 o'clock in the morning. If you've no duties and responsibilities. Alright, okay. Space Jaws doesn't play that shite. So I bought a toilet seat yesterday. The old toilet seat in this flat's been doing that thing. You know, sometimes it will just slide to one side. It's happening because the room that the toilet's in is like a fucking tiny cupboard. So when you go in, you have to kind of adjust to one side to get past the cabinet that's under the wee tiny sink in this room. And it means that over time, people push the seat to one side and eventually it gets loosened and it pulls to one side. The washers have perished, says Dirty Burton. That's what happens over time. So I spent about... It must have been about an hour and a half trying to get the toilet seat off, because not only does the toilet seat have Phillips screws that you need to take out, but it's got wee tiny Allen key things that you need to. I don't think we need to remove the sink, Kenty, but what do you think what should have been considered when it was installed was putting the storage like up instead of down at floor level, putting it up on the wall. Anyway, I'm done running because it's no like this toilet unit is like one of the kind of sealed unit looking things, so you need to kind of bend right round the back to reach round with both hands to try and unscrew things. So I was like an hour and a half trying to get the old toilet seat off, and I ended up some of it was like rusted and fused shut. Hugging the toilet seat that everybody's been shiting into. Breathing in all the spores and everything for like an hour and a half, and eventually I had to end up like kind of prizing it off, worried that I was going to chip the toilet, but I prized it off and I managed to get the toilet seat off. So I was like, right, thank fuck. I'm going to try the local shops and see if I can get a toilet seat for one of the Spurs. Instead of using Amazon, I'm going to use one of the local shops. So I went round the local hardware shops trying to get a toilet seat. And there's a place in Shawlands Arcade. There's like a hardware shop in Shawlands Arcade where they like stock nearly everything. And I went in and I went through the toilet seats and I picked the one that looked like the best one for my needs. It was soft close and everything. It had a child seat on it as well, but it was just a magnetic thing that you could disconnect. So I walked in with a toilet seat under my arm, got in, took it out of the box, and it was only at that moment when I took it out of the box I went, ah fuck, this is a normal shaped toilet seat, and what we've got here in this flat is like a kind of square, almost square looking toilet seat, a bit curved at the front, but mostly kind of square looking. So I was like, this toilet seat doesn't fit. So walked back to the hardware shop with the toilet seat under my arm. They don't have any square ones. Checked some other local shops, they don't have any square ones either. Walked back, went on to Amazon, ordered a fucking toilet seat on Amazon, so that's arriving the day. Soft close only lasts for a week. No, it doesn't. Amicus Riley. I just obviously just didn't register. I just didn't register that it was a square toilet seat. I just went toilet seat instead of square toilet seat. Anyway, I couldn't replace the toilet seat because I have to wait for one to be delivered for Amazon. But I did fix the towel rack. The towel rack was hanging off and I've temporarily fixed that, but it's no permanently fixed because I just took it all off and then kinda there was a load of filler in the hole. I just kinda reworked the filler and put it back on and it's sturdy for now, but really it needs to be completely dismantled and all the holes need to be what's it called? Polyfillered, and all the holes freshly drilled. Amicus Riley's worried about Ryan. What's the point at this stage? Did anyone say hello to you while walking through the streets with a bog seat under your arm? Why would they, Kenty? Why would they? So there's still painting to be done, and gardening to be done, and DIY to be done. Middy, were you saying that you wanted rated? Trying to find the way that I used to do raids. Create a dashboard? Nah. Create a dashboard? Oh, you said create a dashboard, says Messi Justice. Where is it then? Stream Manager? Nah. Then Stream Manager. It wouldn't have anything to do with this, would it? Nah, that's not his channel, is the thing. Streaming tools? No, that's not. That's not. I don't know what did it. Is it odd? Does it all have to be one word, do you think? Raid created. Right. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Exercise and meditate. Thanks very much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Good to see you. Take it easy. Enjoy middies things. Right. 10 o'clock tomorrow. I'll install Fortnite and have a look at that Nightbot shite. Fairly well. Cheers.
Hello everybody. Why not? Are you coming on to play? 22. I've never had 22 people watch. And I'm way less entertained than Ryan.